Welcome to Scary Fun. They are always close. The video we are about to see comes from a concerned young mother and was uploaded to one of the paranormal subreddits. At first glance, the video shows only a brief moment of fun between mother and child, but as we all know very well, the devil is always in details.
Let's change your butt. You smell like you poopy.
At one point, as the camera pans, we can see a mysterious, completely dark figure standing at some distance from a child, although a moment before there was nothing in that spot. Interestingly, whatever it is, it looks like something that doesn't have a face or any details, even though it's daytime and the whole room is very well lit. It's as if the light completely avoids the dark figure. What's more, the author of the video claims that almost at the same moment when the figure can be seen in the video, we can hear a soft but very clear EVP saying the words, "I'll be fine." So, in this short video we have not only a mysterious figure, but also an equally mysterious EVP. But what was this entity watching the mother and her child so closely? And what's most important, why was it invisible in person and could only be caught on camera? Could it be one of the famous and mysterious shadow people? But if so, what does this entity want from an innocent child? Say what you will, but for me, despite it being short, the video is simply terrifying. They are always watching. And while we're on the subject of creepy creatures called children and the supernatural things that often happen around them, let me show you something else. This video also comes from a paranormal subreddit, but here the mother who uploaded it to the internet clearly claims that she managed to capture a real shadow person. Take a look.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
The short video depicts the children playing on their parents' bed, but it's no less mysterious than the previous one. When the mother holding the phone turns to the bathroom door for a moment, a small dark figure becomes visible, but just as in the first video, it disappears again almost instantly. At least, this is what the author of the video says about the incident, but was it really some mysterious being, a shadow person? It's hard to say, but if we stop the video at the right frame, then it's quite difficult to get rid of the impression that we are dealing with something unnatural. Whatever it is, it doesn't look like a child hiding behind the door. In that case, we could at least see the outline of the clothes or a face. The entity seen in the footage is completely black and devoid of any other elements. It looks just like a shadow person. If you like this video so far, please subscribe and enable notifications. Thank you. Terrifying investigation. CJ, the author of the CJ Faison channel, is known to visit various haunted locations in the States. However, these aren't just any places, but often places with rather dark history. CJ believes that in such places where something has occurred triggering strong and often bad emotions, the chance of experiencing paranormal phenomena is much higher. Some time ago, CJ bought a farm and a large piece of land. Of course, as you can imagine, it was by no means a normal spot, but one where some really terrifying murders took the place in the past. This not only saved him the cost of buying the place, but at the same time gave him an ideal location for his investigations. What we are about to see isn't his first contact with the place. He's been there before with friends and there were a lot of interesting things happening, but in this video he spent the whole night there all by himself. And of course there were some things going on there that were quite hard to explain.
Hello? Hello? So I'm getting like mixed signals here. Like I'm hearing, it was like this the last time that Sonny and I were here for the series that we did over that one weekend. It sounded like there was stuff upstairs. It sounded like there was stuff below us in all kinds of rooms. The craziest thing that I think has probably ever happened was that we were standing here and I was trying to end my video and ah! Alright, looks like it's the same as it was. So, the last time that I was in this house, that board, it was actually propped up like that. What is this? I don't ever remember that being on the thing.
There were many more such moments. No matter what part of the house he was in, CJ heard strange noises but couldn't find the source. It looked like there was someone else in the building with him, but that was impossible because he had carefully searched all the rooms. CJ soon came to the conclusion that the only next logical step was to try to make a contact.
So my name's CJ. I'm actually the new owner of this property. Never formally introduced myself. There are any spirits here tonight. I want to tell you that you cannot attach yourself to me, my camera, and my book bag, nothing that I have. You are only allowed to stay here. One thing I do want to mention is that I am here to get some pretty riveting and hardcore answers. I understand that you led my friend Sonny and I a couple of months ago when we were here. You led us to an actual gun, murder weapon in the wall. So if there's anything else left in this house, I'd really like to know about it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this spirit box session, and you can feel free to communicate with me or not, and we'll go from there. Look here. Look where? In the floor? I want the name of the person who was possibly killed by that machete. Can someone tell me the name of the person that was killed in this house? Was there anybody killed? Were there multiple people killed inside this house? 10? Can you confirm that you said 10? How many people were killed in this house? 10. Holy shit. That literally is so precise. Gun? Yes, we found a gun in here last time. Is there any other murder weapons in this house? I don't know. Where did one of the killings happen inside this house?
Although I'm not really convinced of the accuracy of these spirit boxes, we have to admit that answers that came out of the device when he asked the questions were strangely logical. It's really hard to believe that this was just a coincidence. Encouraged by what he heard, CJ decided not to interrupt the session but to move around the house with the device.
Something said rug. Is there something under that rug I need to know about? Is there something under this rug? Some of my viewers said that somebody might have died here and the police took the carpet for evidence. Is that true? Did somebody die in this room? Wow, it said blood. Who died in this room here? Who died in this room? Can you tell me? Shot him? Who was shot in this room? Can you give me the name of somebody who died in this house? Rob Brown? Is that what I just heard? In the room with you? Looks like there's actually some scratch marks too. Are these scratch marks right here that I'm looking at? Ah! Who just touched me? Who just touched me, please? Please tell me. Oh! Who touched me? Who's trying to get my attention? This spirit box is super active, and there was said on the previous spirit box session right over here, said there was 10 people that died in this house. I've never heard the spirit box like this.
When CJ was asking the questions as before, he got even more logical answers, and at the end he had the impression that something had grabbed his hand. With this, however, we can only trust him, but it's possible that he was just very tense and scared and it was only his imagination. But in the end he decided to direct his attention exactly to this very room.
And the reason why a lot of things happen like that is because it's possibly somebody bled through the carpet. Now, I cannot tell, I'm no forensic scientist or anything, but it doesn't look like any blood stains on there. But again, there is the carpet and then the padding under the carpet. So, very well, it's a perfectly cut square, which, a lot of people were led to believe, and myself too, is that this carpet square was cut out for evidence purposes, to collect blood samples, forensic, all that good stuff. Somebody also commented that they wanted me to look around the room. They wanted me to see. Now that there, I'm not exactly sure if that's like a pee stain or that's maybe like a dried blood. I'm not exactly sure. But supposedly when someone does pass away in a house and there's a lot of blood, they will cut the carpet out of where that person was. So that's honestly why I think this room is so active, is because of that. To me, this creeps me out more than anything, being here alone and now having so much activity in this room. And having just, to me, it's crazy.
You have to admit that it's quite interesting. The greatest activity happened when he approached and stayed in that very room with the cut-out carpet. If he actually managed to make contact with the people who were murdered in this house, then this entire footage is simply amazing. And as always, the link to the entire investigation can be found in the description. The Last Party. Another short video was sent to me by Albert. His mother was taking care of an older lady in Austria. When she died, her daughter invited Albert's mother and two other people who also took care of her to drink one last time in her memory. This is just a fragment of a longer video, but Albert noticed something strange about it. Take a look. The glass which stands on the table eventually begins to move by itself. We have seen videos like this before, often from haunted bars, but we can also get this effect if the glass and the surface are just wet. But also in this case it was a farewell party of the deceased. So what really happened in this video? Was it actually some kind of activity from the spirit that was still present in the house? Or is the movement of the glass itself nothing more than a coincidence? Let me know in the comments. New mental asylum. Two young girls, learning of an old mental asylum near their town, long since closed and in ruin, decided to visit this interesting place. And although they reached their destination, they never got to visit the building because as soon as they were on the premises, something very strange happened.
Ashley.
Mysterious screams came from the dense forest that surrounds the hospital, screams that loudly cry out for help. Of course, I'm not saying it was something paranormal, but the girls were far away from any town. The place was surrounded by a forest where in fact anything could be lurking. Yes, anything. And you probably remember how the skinwalker always lures his victims. That's right, he lures them by imitating a human voice and loudly asking for help. But who knows, maybe it was just some random woman murdered in the wilderness, so it's not a big deal. Either way, I wouldn't like to find myself in such situation. The playground. A while ago, a re-upload of a short video that had previously been removed by the moderators appeared on the paranormal subreddit Ghosts. The author of the post isn't its author, but his good friends are. He simply shared the video at their request and briefly described the whole thing. This isn't a fake. It happened to my neighbors. Their children were playing on a slide and they noticed that some kind of a face showed itself behind their daughter, and there weren't any other children playing. Although we can see the mysterious face for only a fraction of a second, after a slight brightening it actually becomes quite visible. In fact, we can see it so well that it looks as if it's another child waiting for his turn on the slide. This short video got a lot of attention, but reading the comments, it looks like most people think it's just another child. Only if that was actually the case, would the author of the post waste his precious time arguing and trying to convince people that the video is real? I don't think so. It looks like the author of the post really cares about the clearing up the whole matter, because as he mentioned many times, only his friends were on the playground at that moment. A terrifying hospital. Lalo Escalante is a well-known ghost hunter who looks for paranormal phenomena in cemeteries and very old buildings, of course, mostly at night. This time he has gone to an old hospital that has been closed for a long time, and while he has managed to record something paranormal more than once during his expeditions, what he experienced in this place will stay in his memory for a really long time. Just by watching the footage you can feel the eerie atmosphere of the building, and soon after Lalo went inside, he realized the visit to this place was indeed a great idea. Although such noises in an abandoned hospital are instantly associated with ghosts, this was really only the beginning of his expedition and he couldn't rule out the presence of other people. But it wasn't after the ghost hunter found himself on the upper floors of the building that the situation really began to get interesting.
Hola. Tu puta puerta. Virga, la puerta. Uy, mierda. ¿Qué pedo la puerta? ¿Qué pedo la puerta si se cerró sola? Hola.
At some point he noticed a door closing, but he wasn't sure if it was something paranormal or if someone had actually decided to scare him. So he tried to take a closer look, but after peering into the room,
Hola. ¿Alguien ahí?
it turned out no one was inside. Either that or someone was able to quietly hide in advance. And the rest of the exploration was even more interesting.
Hola. ¿Qué es eso? Hola. ¡A la puta! La mierda. ¡A la mierda! ¡Mierda! ¡Hola! Mames, me cagué. Me cagué. Me cagué.
Whatever it was, it seemed to haunt him all the time, and Lalo himself seemed genuinely scared. But only when he witnessed something a little later, he slowly began to regret that he had gone to this place alone.
¿Hay un ser aquí conmigo? ¡Uy! ¡Ay! ¡La camilla! No mames, güey. Se está moviendo, cabrón. La camilla, güey. ¡Hola! Se movió la camilla. ¿Hola? Se movió la camilla. ¿Hola? ¿Alguien ahí? Hola. No hay nadie.
What we have seen are just a few of many phenomena that Lalo managed to experience. I don't want to spoil the fun for you, so watch the entire video on his channel. As always, you will find the link in the description. Oklahoma investigation. The next video we'll see comes from the American channel The Paranormal Files, whose authors conduct paranormal investigations at various haunted locations. This time their attention was focused on a certain house in Oklahoma, a house with a very long and dark history. Not so long ago, the house was converted to accommodate bed and breakfast styled guests and quickly gained fame as one of the few truly haunted places worth spending the night in. Almost all guests who stay in the house experience things that are hard to explain. Strange shadows, lights turning on and off by themselves, mysterious noises, or even the mysterious sound of music box that seems to come from the walls. The owner admits that she got used to these things over the years, but also mentions she simply loves listening to her guests' stories about what paranormal phenomena they managed to experience while staying in her house. So after hearing some very interesting stories from the owner and checking out the house in advance, the Paranormal Files team began its paranormal investigation. Its goal was to find out whose spirit was haunting the house and, what's most important, what it wanted in the first place. To make their work easier, they decided to use a makeshift Ouija board to open a passageway into the ghostly world.
The power to this board and to this portal from myself, my own soul, my own energy. Did you hear something right when that?
Each of them used a drop of their blood into the board, which was supposed to act as a kind of catalyst and help with the contact. Then they dimmed the lights and waited in darkness for anything to happen while trying to contact the ghost.
Maybe touch that little box I have laying on the floor. Again, keep coming. Come into the room and talk to us. You're welcome to come in and sit with us inside here. Come on in.
In fact, they didn't have to wait long at all, because only a moment later, suspicious sounds of footsteps could be heard around them, as if someone was slowly approaching. It's worth mentioning that the woman who had shown them the house spent the night elsewhere, so at that time only the ghost hunters were in the building. Sessions with both Ovilus and SB7 followed. In both cases, the responses of the devices were amazingly logical, much as if they were actually having a conversation with an invisible entity. What's interesting, during one of the sessions the cameras began to behave strangely.
Yeah, what was that?
Something just happened with the night vision. With the infrared. It literally just dimmed. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa!
What in the hell? Dude, I'm like,
What the f is going on with it, man?
Dude.
It's fucking turning on by itself.
Look at I'm totally...
The camera kept turning itself off and back into the night vision mode, and as they admitted, nothing like this had ever happened before. Shortly after, as they were trying to calm down, they could hear the sound of a door closing somewhere in the depths of the house, probably in the basement, because this very room is considered the paranormal hotspot of the building.
Look at how bright that is. Okay, because there was an orb in here. Oh, jeez, what was that? Dude, what the f***? That was a door behind me here. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Hello?
Dude, I'm truly...
Is that camera still rolling?
Yeah.
After a while, it also turned out that the batteries of devices such as flashlights and dictaphones suddenly ran out of power, even though they had been replaced with new ones shortly before the investigation began. This is believed to happen when a ghost is in close proximity to electronic devices. In the next part of the investigation, they decided to check the basement, because in this room the most paranormal phenomena always happen, and as you can guess, they also got to experience something rather hard to explain.
There is something down here.
Yo, what the f? What? I have full body chills.
Hold on.
Can you grab the camera?
Okay, just a second.
Hello? Over here. That was in this corner. It's moving, dude.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Something circling us, maybe. Boy, I don't feel good down here, actually.
As in the room above, suspicious sounds of footsteps could be heard, only this time they could be heard all around them. It was as if something was just playing some kind of a joke. And to make matters worse, at some point, one of them began to complain of a pain in the back of his neck, and the reason turned out to be clear.
It's a scratch, dude.
Okay, I literally just felt my neck hurting. What is it?
It's a scratch. Red.
Can you at least flip the thing so I can see it?
Look at it.
Whatever was lurking in the basement of the house apparently didn't like the investigation, became aggressive, and one of them was scratched quite violently on the neck.
Okay, is there somebody down here with us or what? Dude, that was a shuffle. What the...
This is very scary.
Dude, this is the most... Somebody's living down here.
I'm getting cold too, and it's hard to breathe. What are those noises, dude?
After that, it looked like things were slowly getting out of hand, and the footsteps and sounds coming from the darkness were becoming even louder. Fearing what further investigation might reveal, ghost hunters decided to stop. What's interesting, a moment later, it turned out that at the moment when one of them was scratched, his girlfriend, who was sleeping in a house many miles away, had a very real dream in which the man was holding his throat and was vomiting a green strange liquid. An amazing coincidence, right? But was it really a coincidence? Although the Paranormal Files team didn't experience flying objects or the presence of mysterious figures, it was this subtle, not exaggerated phenomena that gave their investigation an eerie and quite believable style. But we have only seen a few clips from the entire footage, which is a full 2 hours long, and I recommend you to take a look at their channel and watch the entire video. The Night and the Sea. And now it's time for something that was sent to me by one of the viewers. We'll take a look at a very interesting photo whose author is Przemek. He made it while on vacation in Bulgaria. During a night walk on the beach with his daughter, he decided to take a photo of the Black Sea. He took actually 2 photos, just to be sure. The first one is, let's say, normal, although it also shows strange objects that shouldn't be visible with the lamp off. What should interest us, however, is the second photo taken literally a few seconds after the first one. At first glance, it's hard to make out, but if we brighten the photo slightly and add some contrast, we can quite clearly see a translucent figure walking on the shore, just as if it's the outline of a person. But as he says, what he was able to capture was definitely not a person. His daughter was right next to him at the time the photos were taken, on the same side of the camera as he was, and there was no one else on the beach at that moment. So, what do you think? Did he manage to capture a real ghost in the photo? After all, Bulgaria is pretty high on the list of haunted countries. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. The Rumble and a Shadow. The following video comes from Poland. Its author is the owner of the exploration channel Wietrzyk Studio. As in the case of Old Finders team, which we have already seen, the author of this channel focuses more on exploration than on searching for paranormal phenomena. This time, however, he decided to try his luck and go on a nighttime expedition to an abandoned mansion where a brutal murder was committed in the past. And unlike other videos of this kind, according to the author, something unexplainable happened right at the beginning, shortly after he started his exploration.
Zakrwawiona kurtka, mam nadzieję, że to jest po farbie, a nie po prostu krew ludzka. Mam nadzieję, że się tu nie spotkam z jakimiś dziwnymi osobami. Aż mi dreszcze przeszło.
While he was setting up the equipment, a strange loud noise came from a distant part of the house, and shortly after we can see something like a shadow that quickly flies over the camera. Many people believe that the author of the video moved his hand close to the camera, resulting in a mysterious shadow. However, he claims that this is simply impossible due to the position of the flashlight, which was the main source of the light. And while it could indeed be an unfortunate and accidental play of the light, the loud noise alone that was heard in the old, possibly haunted house could be a hint. And that's it for today. Thanks for your time and for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment.